So 100 people registered for this opening webinar of 2026, but we'll see how many people will show up.
Yeah, it's a very special webinar. The timing is also not like it's that's what we were planning to wait until the busy season is over. We go through all the challenges, and now it's time to think about processes.
Yeah, and it's also last time we had just a Zoom for 100 people because we never expected that more people would join. But literally, we were like at the capacity, and we had people in the waiting room because we couldn't accept more people. So this time we upgraded our Zoom. It's been pretty expensive, but we upgraded our Zoom, and right now we have unlimited amount of people that can join us. As you guys can see, we are always very transparent. Everyone can talk to each other. We're here to build a community. I I've been saying that over and over again, and I think you guys are starting to notice the consistency of those webinars. I think this is something that's missing in this space. People talking to each other about the best solutions, and the best solutions actually being there and talking to each other, integrating with each other, and then all of us transparently at no cost whatsoever, just showing up. So thank you very much for your time. It's mid-January. I hope you guys are accomplishing a lot. We have a huge announcement here. So very much, it is probably the most important webinar. And Jill Henriks from Pubnet is with us. So we're so gracious for her time. And we have some people from Emersoft. So if you guys have any questions, as we're going through the presentation here, this is a very, very interactive session. So make sure to like be muted as you know when we're presenting. But then if you have any questions, post them on chat. And at the end, the last 15 minutes, we will have a Q&A session. Last time we did the webinar, we were gonna finish at 6 p.m. and people stayed for like 45 minutes. And then we had calls with clients that wanted to talk even more. So like we pretty much stayed until midnight because there was just so much interest. But yeah, it's 5:05 here on the East Coast. Thank you very much, guys. I don't know where you're calling from, but maybe put it in the chat where you guys are calling from. I'm in St. Pete, Florida, beautiful St. Pete, Florida. And Pavel, I'm going to hand over to you and to Jill, and let's get this started.
Yeah, thank you very much, Marcin. Thank you for the introduction. So, yeah, as Marcin said, like this is a very first webinar of the year. Very important because we have a big announcement to make here that I think is gonna simplify a lot of lives, and you will be able to reclaim back your time and dedicate it to something more interesting than just putting data into the system, copy, paste, and all that stuff. So that's what we want to automate, and that's where we want to help here. And of course, we will be also showing the best e-commerce system that is out there. Some of our friends from Shopify are also joining us today. So big shout out to them. Thanks, Matt, for joining. And yeah, I think we can just get started. It's already 5 past. We know that you guys very busy, and that's one of the challenges with those webinars because a lot of people want to join, but they ask for the recording. Recording will be available after the webinar, so we good here. Yeah. So first of all, I know some of you guys already use Shopify, so you're probably familiar with how it looks like. But the agenda for today is I'm going to show you the our Shopify application that integrates with Ingram, so the easy access to all the data and automatic fulfillment through Ingram. It simplifies a lot in terms of the setup. You can quickly upload all the books to your store. The next part is going to be Pubnet integration. So we want to announce today that the Pubnet integration is coming to Shopify. I will quickly show and explain how this is going to work. We are expecting to roll this out to public just before the Winter Institute, which is the end of February. So we still have like a month to go. And after that, Jill will chime in and talk about the benefits, how you can, guys, if you are not with Pubnet yet, she will explain how you can get prepared. And after this, we will be talking about Shopify POS. So I want to show you how booksellers can use Shopify for their operations and how we are building the only complete solution here that will serve booksellers for both online sales and brick and mortar operations. So this is the only complete solution on the market that is powered by the best e-commerce system that is out there. So really, this is huge. Let me get started. I'm gonna share my screen first, and so here I'm inside of our Shopify admin panel. I know some of you guys already familiar with this view. So we have this books application that integrates directly with Ingram. So through here you can just open the application, and from the app you have access to more than 14 million titles from Ingram with full metadata. So let's say if I just open any of those books, I have all the information about the book. So I have the titles, I have the publisher information, which is actually imprint, and that's going to be important information for our Pubnet integration, because we will be mapping those imprints to suppliers and send those requests through Pubnet. We also have information about the publishing date. That's very helpful for your pre-sales and pre-orders. Information about the product format and the BISAC subjects that are actually like essentially categories, very detailed categories. So I know not all of you guys use them directly, but it's still very helpful for your books organization. Then we also have information like annotations and publishing marketing. So everything is here, and with just few clicks of a button, you can add all of this information to your Shopify store. Those grayed out checkboxes, that means the product is already added in my store. So let me move to another page. Here on the top, there is this advanced filtering. And by the way, we are enhancing this view, and this will be rolled out along with the Pubnet integration. So you will be able to search by Ingram top sellers. You will be able to get different collections, not only by BISAC subject. So this is going to be way more advanced, and it's coming pretty soon, because I'm talking month. Yeah, so all those products, I still have all of them, already have all of them added. So here I have a couple of products that are not yet imported to my store. So I can just select them and hit import. Here we have this import confirmation page with all the data, like the cover image, the title. You have the price, which is a retail price, and you also have a cost. So based on those two information, Shopify automatically calculates your margins, and this is very helpful for your financial dashboards. And with Pubnet integration, I'm also going to mention that. I know you guys have different contracts with suppliers, publishers, so the cost varies, and this is going to be reflected later on. So when you create a purchase order to send to Pubnet, this cost will be synced. So that information uh, will be reflected in your Shopify store. And also here we have tags, and those tags, we bring BISAC subjects to Shopify as tags. And this is very helpful for enhancing your recommendations. You're adding extra filters to your storefront, or just setting up smart collections inside of your Shopify store. So every time you upload those books to the store, they can be automatically organized within collections based on conditions like BISAC subjects or things like that. So let me navigate back to products. And those three books that I just selected, they are already added to my store. So as you can see, I have the description ready, the cover image is ready, the BISAC subjects and stacks here are ready, the category already set up, the price, this section that I just mentioned, we have the price, we have the cost, the rest is calculated automatically. Then we also have the fulfillment. So that's a second component to the application. And I'm going to show you later on how to use Ingram fulfillment as a backup through your POS, through your point of sale Shopify POS. So let's say there's a book that you usually have in store, but and someone wants to buy it, but you run out of stock, and you can very easily order this book through Ingram to directly to your customer on your POS, and I'm going to show you how to do that. And all the information, the data that I was showing earlier is also available here through meta fields. That means you can use them for your collections. And let me navigate there and I will show you. So here I have my fiction collection, and it's a smart collection. So it organizes my books based on BISAC subject. In this case, I selected fiction. But you can combine this, add more conditions. You can use a couple of different BISAC subjects, or you can use authors and BISAC subjects. So you can have this fiction collection for specific authors, because that information is also available through Ingram, and we pull this to your store when you import. So this is very helpful, and I know a lot of other e-commerce systems, they lack this. So that's a problem. And now I want to go through creating a purchase order for Pubnet. So that was like this quick introduction. Our application is an essential component here because we bring all the data, and a lot of this, what's happening here, is basically happening around the data. So right now, like, this feature is still in development, so I don't have a live preview, but I'm going to show you how this is going to look like and how this is going to work based on purchase orders, like the native functionality from Shopify to create purchase orders. And what we are going to build is kind of um, combination. So basically, you will be able to create a purchase order inside of Shopify, select the supplier. That's going to be a list of suppliers from Pubnet. And Jill can probably say a couple of more words about that later on. So you will select the supplier that you want to create order with, and you will select the destination. And that destination is basically location of your brick and mortar. You can have multiple different locations, and you can just select it here. And that's very important because later on, when the order comes back, you can just sync it with your location, which means it will update the inventory of those products in your Shopify store. And it will also update information like costs. So here you will you will select the supplier, you will select the destination. So I'm going to use my New York location for the store. And here you will be able to browse products. So you can either filter by imprint. So you can select different imprints, let's say those 3 imprints, and I know they are supplied by the supplier that I just selected. So I can just, select all of those books from this imprint, and I can either select them here, or or you can also filter through different other things. But mainly the functionality will be that you will be mapping imprints to the supplier. And this is already in development, so I'm not talking about something that might happen in the future. We'll be rolling this out just before the Winter Institute. So you will select the imprint, you'll select those books, and you will define the quantity and send that purchase order through Pubnet to your supplier. And then you will get notified once the supplier responds with on this order, because you know how it is. It's like a little bit like a market. You put your bid. Let's say you want 100 of those books and 200 of the other book, but it's not confirmed until supplier confirms that that's how many books they have. So basically, you will just put your bid. You'll say 100 of those books, 100 of that book, like that, just like that. and then you will submit the purchase order. And you will be notified when the purchase order confirmation comes back from the supplier. And that purchase order will reflect what supplier actually has. So let's say you ordered 100 of books, like 100 copies of Abundance, but the supplier only has 80. So that number will be reflected on the purchase order that you created. And we will also update this information, so you will have a view like that. Let me show you, because the UI is still not there, but we are working on that. So there will be something like that with the location and the books that you ordered. And the supplier will come back with the price for those books and quantity. And you will see this information here. So let's say 100 of those, and this is the price, and this is the total. And you will also see the progress of the order. So when the purchase, like when the order is shipped, this information will be reflected on your order view here inside of our application. And once you receive the order, so once the order actually arrives to your store, you will be able to come back to this order and just click sync. So it will update the inventory of your store with products that you ordered from the supplier and the quantity that the supplier confirmed. And the same goes with the cost. So those books will have the updated cost. So it reflects everything inside of your Shopify store and the quantity, which will be synced with your Shopify POS. So essentially, just like that, you created an order for the books, and once the order arrived, you just sync, and everything is automatically updated inside of your Shopify store. And guys, if you have any questions, you can always drop them in the chat. And after, like towards the end of the webinar, we will be happy to answer all the questions. And also, we are like, one of the reasons we are running those webinars is because we want to be very close to people. We want to hear your feedback, because you understand the industry in and out. You've been doing this for years. You know what are the problems, and you know how you would like to handle things. So please, whatever feedback you guys have, drop them to the chat, and we will be happy to, consider that. And later on, when the integration is rolled out, we will be also listening to feedback, and then based on that, create the roadmap. So it will be always based on what you guys need, not what we think will be required, right? So I think, Jill, you can chime in here and talk a little bit about Pubnet and how is this such a great tool.
Sure. I'll go ahead and put a little information about me and Pubnet in the chat for y'all to have, but I'm the customer success specialist at MVB, and we operate two electronic ordering services: Pubnet, which is used behind the scenes in point of sale systems, and then Pubeasy, which some of you may be on because you're on Shopify, which up until now has not supported Pubnet. So both of these services, the reason that electronic ordering is helpful for booksellers is that it saves you time and money, just efficiencies and in systems. So when you are ordering through Pubnet, through the Shopify, the Emersoft Books app, you're going to be going computer to computer. So this means that even if your rep is on vacation, or they're just overwhelmed, it's the holiday season, your order is going to get directly into the order fulfillment system, and it's going to process much faster. And because it's computer to computer, there are less opportunities for typos. I mean, as the bookseller, you can always have that fat thumb moment and type 11 instead of 1, but your rep isn't having to transcribe anything. A customer service person isn't having to move data from one system to the other. It's going directly through. So there are fewer errors. And then the other, great benefit of Pubnet is that you do get that confirmation back. So No matter how, you're checking availability with the publisher, you don't know, did somebody snatch those last few books ahead of you or not? So you don't really know that until you get your confirmation back. And that tells you what's going to be shipping or not. And it usually also confirms your discount for you if you put a promo code or something and you want to be sure that that was applied correctly. So those are some of the benefits of Pubnet. Now, one of the requirements is that with most suppliers, and Pubnet supports hundreds of suppliers, almost every book publisher you can think about will work with you on Pubnet, is that all but two require you to have terms accounts set up. So that means that instead of prepaying for your books before they ship, that you have a credit established with the publisher and they will ship your books first and then invoice you afterwards. So that's just an important thing to know. And as you're preparing for this launch, you might reach out and try and convert some of your accounts from prepay to terms if that's the situation that you're in. So I hope that was helpful. And, if you have more questions, just put them in the chat for me.
Thank you very much, Jill. That was very helpful. Yeah, Pubnet is a great solution, and I'm so happy that we are bringing it to Shopify, which is the best e-commerce platform. I know I'm repeating myself, but like the deeper I dive in, the more benefits I see of this platform. So now I would like to move to the meat of this today webinar, which is the actual POS. I know a lot of you guys run brick and mortar location. So I want to show you, and I know you're considering moving to different POS, but you're not sure if that's gonna, cover all of your needs. So let me share my POS application, and we will go through some of the cases. So first of all, in Shopify, you can have multiple different locations, and you can enable the POS for each location, and that allows you to, ship from different location. And then let's say if you don't have the product in store in this particular store, but it's available in the other location, the Shopify POS will actually show you that, will tell you this information. So let me let me log into my POS application. Yeah. One second. Let me try again. Okay. Yeah, so I'm inside of my Shopify POS, and this is the initial view. And those tiles that you see here, you can actually customize. So wherever you feel like you need the most to be available at your fingerprint, you can set it up here. And I think one of the pretty important information, like pretty important thing, is to have the easy way to see the pickup orders, because with Shopify and Shopify POS you can set up the pickup in store, and I will show you how to do that. So maybe so here I have this button right now. As you can see, there are no orders, so nothing is here. And let me move to the actual Shopify store, and I will show you how to order product and select that and select the pickup in store, and then process this order inside of Shopify POS. Let me share my store. This is our development store, so please disregard the design. Is it showing? Not really. Okay, one second. I need to connect. There's too many screens. Okay, so here I am. Yeah, so this is my store. This is my online store. And let's say I want to order the book. This is one of the latest books here. I can buy it now. And then I can just type my email. and I want to pick up in my store. Let me see my New York. So I want to see stores in the New York. So there is one. There is one store available in New York, and I want to pick this book from there because I'm traveling or I live there. So this is a test payment just for the presentation purposes. But I want to show you how this whole thing works. So I just type any address here and pay now. So you see the order is confirmed. I have this, the order is there for the pickup. And now I'm going to show you how it shows on the POS. So we can prepare this order for the pickup. Now let me share my POS application. Okay, so I'm inside of my Shopify POS, log in, and then you can see here, I have the pickup and this little icon on the right. And here is my order. So I got a notification on the POS that there is an order ready for the pickup. I mean, I just received an order. I can click here, see what's there. Then I prepare for the pickup. Then the client will receive a notification that the order is ready for the pickup. They will, if they have the Shopify application for their or shop application, they will get a push notification to their phone. If not, they will just receive an email that the order is actually ready for the pickup in your store. And then you still have it here, and you have this dedicated tab ready for the pickup. So if you have multiple different orders, you can easily see which one is ready and which one to prepare. So let's say the customer just arrived and you just mark as pickup, and then the pickup is, you can text them the confirmation, or you can email the confirmation, the order is picked up, boom, ready. Customer is happy, and just quickly, few clicks of a button here, the order is collected. And as you can see, it doesn't really require a lot of training. So if you have your staff in store, this will be very easy for them to onboard and actually start using it. Great tool. Another thing is, I think that actually happens pretty frequently, is when someone comes into the store and they want to order a book, but the book is out of stock. So right now, you can either use the scanner. Um, a second. I need to refresh my sharing again. I see stopped. Okay, so you can either use a scanner. So, however, but yeah, if the book is not in store, you can't really scan it, right? But anyway, so let's say someone comes to the store, they want to order The Alchemist, and you see it's in store, you run out of stock. It's sold out. But with our application, you have another location added, which is Ingram Fulfillment Center. So in here, you can just, because Ingram still has those books, so it's available. And in here, you can just select the that you want to ship this product from Ingram location. So you wouldn't even have to wait until you get back the book to your store. You can just select Ingram location. Then you can just add a customer, or if you have already one, if you know the guy that came, you can just find them in your store. You can select the address. Like I was doing a lot of testing. That's why I have so many different addresses, but usually there is just one address for one customer. So you wouldn't even have to select that from the list. So here, as you can see, I have the order ready on the Shopify POS. So basically we are talking in store and I just put this together for him. Now I have the customer, I have the address, I have the book that is going to be shipped from Ingram, and I can just go to checkout and collect the money. So you can either get the card payment or just the cash. For the demo purposes, I will get the cash collected. you select wherever is here, and then done. The order is done, and the order is ready to be fulfilled through Ingram. So you don't even have to think about it. The book was not in store, then you just want to use Ingram as a backup. That's a lot. I know from a fact that a lot of our customers, they actually use this option. So through the Shopify POS, you can see it's pretty simple to do. You just make sure that the book is added to your POS sales channel. So that's a great feature. Another feature is that, let's say this time they have a book. Let's say I want this book, right? So here I put the order together. Maybe there's another one that they want to add here, those two books, right? And then for whatever reason, they decide that, you know what, I'm maybe gonna buy this later. So with this button, email to customer, you can just quickly email that checkout to your customer for later. So let's say they forget a wallet, right? Or maybe they wanted to see the book first in store. Maybe they wanted to get some recommendation from you. They were happy, you know, like you put together an order, but they want to buy later. So with just this button on the POS, email to customer, you can send that checkout to your customer. So they will receive an email, branded email of your store with a link to the checkout. So they can later on go back home, click a link, and that link will direct them here to this checkout with those two books that they just selected. And it's just, you know, like everything is handled through Shopify, and that will be normally recorded as an order. Then they can just select the location. If they want to maybe come back tomorrow, pick up on in the store, they can also select that. You will get a notification that there's an order that you need to prepare. So as you can see here, it's pretty straightforward, all of that. You can also quickly and easily, if a customer decides that they want to get this order shipped. So with this button here, ship all items,
32.
right? You can just click here and the checkout will actually convert to ship. So now you need to add a customer. We can either create a new one, but I'm just going to select myself again. And here, select the address. And as I was showing you earlier, the same process, shipping rates are applied with just one button. I transitioned, like I switched from the normal checkout in the store through to a checkout that will be for shipment, right? So I can just go checkout again, cash, the right amount, and the order is there. Boom. I just created another order. And everything you can find here on the POS. So you can navigate to orders here on the left-hand side and preview all those orders. So you see this is unfulfilled, unfulfilled. Then you have the shipping, prepare for shipping, add tracking. It's so like this is the most robust software that you can have in your store that will actually help you selling, will make your life easier. And you can also use that later on with that Pubnet integration. I saw some of you guys were asking if there's a way to scan it, like if the order actually arrives, then you can scan it. And the answer is yes, you can scan it. So you can just click that barcode, scan the product. Like I don't have any products right now, but let me go to some books. You go here, the product will show up. You can click start quick count, and you will, like, if you want to confirm what was received, you can just type whatever number is there, how many orders, like how many copies you received, then hit save, and that number will be updated on your inventory inside of your Shopify. You just submit, then boom, the inventory was updated. And you can do that by scanning a barcode. Like right now, I don't have those products here, but you can select a product from here, not stocked, Like everything is here inside of your Shopify POS. Another thing that I wanted to show you is how to prepare and like fulfillment from store. So if someone orders online, but you want to ship it from your store, not from Ingram, right? Because you have the product. And let me go back to my Shopify store again, and I will show you the complete path. So go back here to my store, and this is my desktop. So this is my store, online store. And now I want to buy a product. So I search. Here I want to go for Atomic Habits. That should be here. Okay, there we go. At buy now. And here again, my email address, ship, and let's say 17, New York. I select the shipping method and go with the card number again. This is testing. Okay, pay now. So I have this product ordered, and let's go back to my POS. So I can show you what I received there and in the app. Orders. Okay, 1 second. There's too many devices here.
And I see we have a great discussion in the chat, guys. So I'm so happy that the community is chipping in, everybody with their own experience, and we can all connect. And we're gonna be opening up to a Q&A section here in like 7 minutes. So
Yeah.
Pavel, how much more do we have to show?
It's really, that's the last thing I wanted to show, because those
Awesome.
are the most like common, cases. I just want you to, like, I want to show that Shopify POS is really easy to use, because we get a lot of questions like, I want to transition, but I'm not sure if my staff will be ready to use it. How much training do I need and all that stuff. But as you can see, it's pretty straightforward, right? So the order I just placed, here we have another order that I can see. And then basically you just click on the order, you will get a notification on your POS, and then prepare for shipping. You select those two, they are fine. Print packaging slip, you can do that as well. Shopify provides all of this. Then there are apps inside of Shopify where you can connect USPS and other, delivery services, and then you can purchase the shipping label directly. Like I can't show you right now here because I don't have that apps. Then you just add tracking. This can be also automated with those apps, and you just fulfill, uh, and that's it. Your customer received an information notification from your store that the order was fulfilled. So yeah, as you can see, pretty straightforward. Like this view here can be customized. So right now, as you can see, I can just, remove this one. I can add some more. So whatever you really need is there at your fingerprints. You can add a discount. So if you just, let's say, someone comes to your store pretty often and you want to reward them for that, you like them, oh, I'm going to apply a discount for them. You can either provide a code or just a custom discount. Let's say they're going to get 10% off on this book, just like that, right? Or maybe you have some promotion going on in store. And as you can see, the discount was applied quickly. I can remove that card. Yeah, so that's really it in terms of the Shopify POS. Obviously, we will be showing more later on. This is not our last webinar, especially with the Pubnet integration. I will be showing how that actually works right now. Today, I just explained the process. We also wanted to to get your feedback on that, and we can move to the Q&A session. I'm happy to see what you guys are thinking about it. How do you feel about that Shopify POS and the next level e-commerce system that will the one complete solution for your in-store and online sales? Yeah. Let me go through those questions. Okay, so let's 1 second. I'm just opening.
I have a question while you're reading through some of those. We've tried using the POs in Shopify before, like that native PO functionality. And when you try to change the cost in there, it doesn't carry over into the product, which then it's inaccurate margins on our end because that cost is never getting updated accurately. With this integration, is it relying on the out of the box PO functionality that Shopify has, or is there a change where the product itself is getting updated?
Yeah, that's a great question, and we are not relying on Shopify purchase order functionality. I was showing the native Shopify PO functionality because in terms of the design and how it works is the closest to what we are working on, but our integration will actually update all the fields. So the cost and the inventory will be updated and reflected on the product page.
Okay, so there will actually be a new PO functionality under your app in that side panel that we will use.
Yeah, it's going to be simplified because we obviously don't want to reinvent the wheel for more robust inventory management and analytics. You can use apps like Stocky. But for our application, this will be specifically for Pubnet. We want to make it simple. We want to keep it simple. And what we really care about is the sync. And then later on, once this all is synced to your Shopify store, then you can leverage like Stocky for other reports.
So two other questions with that PO functionality. When we place orders to Pubnet, we will do it based on supplier, not necessarily each individual imprint. And so right now with Stocky, we have everything specific to the supplier. Will we be able to search by supplier, or will it be the individual imprint?
So right now, we will be mostly like you will be able to select the supplier from the list from Pubnet and then match add those products by imprint because this is the information that we get from Ingram, and we were researching different ways of getting the distribution data, but it seems like it's some kind of like a industry challenge. Jill mentioned that some of this information can be found on Pubnet, so we will be definitely exploring that. However, it's not going to be complete, right? So we
Yeah.
want to make it.
Okay.
We will try to make it as easy as possible to get the distribution data. So instead of using the imprint, you will actually be able to see suppliers in your Shopify store. But as it stands now, and I'm talking about the whole industry, there is really no way where we can pull this data from because it
Okay.
changes
Yeah.
pretty often, and then that information is often being provided by sales reps or different software. So there's not like a one database that has its all, but we will be definitely working towards solving this somehow and getting some of the data from Pubnet. We will discuss that with Jill in detail, but yeah, there are plans
So
to.
once the data is in, if we were to manually change that vendor drop down, then is that how we would see it in the PO and we would be able to do it that way? Like if we did it ourselves manually,
Yeah, you can.
could it like work around?
Yeah, so by default, if you use our application, the vendor information will be an imprint because that's what we get from Ingram and that's
Hmm.
what's available. But if you have your own, data and you know yourself that this
Yeah.
book is supplied by that, yeah, you can update that and this is not going to be a problem of any kind. It will make it easier for you to filter those books when you create a purchase order.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Two more questions and then I will be done. If the book, you said earlier, if we order 100 and they only had 80 and shipped 80, would that book then stay in a back ordered status with the publisher? And once they did ship it, like that PO just stays open until we get the full 100 copies? Am I understanding that correctly? Or does it do like any sort of auto closing, assuming that we have gotten what is available?
That's a great question. We are still exploring the information that we get through Pubnet from a publisher, from the supplier. Probably Jill can chime in here. I'm not sure if there is an information about the back order or they just sent a confirmed amount back to on the
So
PO.
the specification supports back orders. You have to tell the supplier in the purchase order whether you want to back order or not. So
Okay.
there
Okay.
are like 4 options. So I can point you to
Okay.
that,
Yeah.
Pavel, if you
So
need us to.
yeah, if that's available through Pubnet and through suppliers, then we will also support that. So if you specify that that you're open for to back orders, then it will be reflected on the order.
Okay. And then the last question, there are a lot of times that there are additional discounts from publishers that they send to us like via email and we just give them the code whenever we submit the PO. Is that something that that will be supported where we can like send a code to Pubnet that passes on to the publisher for the additional discount?
Yeah, so I believe, I mean, if you want to use Pubnet and if you want to order through suppliers, you need to have a contract with them. So you will have your own discount there, you will have your own cost, and I believe this information will be reflected through the EDI. And
Yeah, a lot of times they'll do like promos though, like backlist promos where if you order 100 copies and it was published before this date, you get an extra 3% or an extra 5%. And we leverage those as much as possible. And so we would want to be able to specify like it's usually like an Indy +3 or like an Indy 5 code that will submit with the order, and we need a way to pass that on to make sure that it gets applied to that specific order. It's not necessarily our standard discount, it's like a promo on top of
Extra.
that.
Yeah, so Pavel,
Yeah.
the spec allows you to pass a promo code. You just would have to support it in the UI.
okay, yeah, yeah, we'll also have that then.
Okay.
Now, one thing for customers to realize, these promo codes do not come from Pubnet. They come from your sales reps or from the supplier, and we don't validate them. So if you make a typo, you don't get your promo.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Also,
So
it doesn't work with, I use PubEasy. It doesn't work with Scholastic.
Scholastic doesn't support it on PubEasy. They do on Pubnet.
Yeah, I need to get on Pubnet. We'll talk.
yeah, you also need to get a Shopify. Are you on Shopify already?
I'm a very big seller in Shopify. Thank you.
Oh, that's great.
And I adore it. I'm going to invest in Shopify. I'm going to buy stock of Shopify.
Yeah,
I
so
have
you'll
a
have everything in one place. Yeah.
I have a question. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yep.
Okay. Can I set a certain number of inventory that I always want on hand for a book? And as soon as it falls below that in sales, it will automatically go to a purchase order for that particular supplier and then continue to, increase until I am ready to send that order.
It's a great automation. For now, with the first stage, we won't be doing any automation like that. So this will be a manual process of creating those purchase orders. However, with Shopify and all the reports and Flowy, I don't know if you're familiar with that, there is a lot that you can do to basically assign tags to products or anything like that. And later on, filter that when you create a purchase order and get all of those books into purchase order. So there won't be any need to automatically open the purchase order and just keep adding things there, because you can get a lot of this information from reports or automations inside of Shopify. And then once you're ready, just create a purchase order with those products.
It still sounds like I had somebody locally that said they could build me a Shopify app to do that based off my, vendors. And yeah, I was really hoping that would be a part of this. Because that's some of my biggest time suck is, manually making these lists for the individual publishers and then sending them. So
yeah. So we will be definitely, improving this feature. But as I said, first we want to roll this out to the public so you can guys start using it and then get feedback from people like what they need next. Like what would be the next, automation or time saver. Like what you just said sounds like a great candidate for the next update on our roadmap.
So it sounds like the biggest, I guess, benefit is just saving all the manual entries of adding it to your system. Is that like, click, 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 there it's added. And then I can order through here, I guess.
Yeah, so I think the best benefit is really having all the data at your fingerprint. So with Ingram, you have access to more than 14 million title products with full metadata. So you can quickly import that to your store, or you can use our concierge support where you just send the list of ISBNs for products that you want to add. Maybe you receive that from your sales rep or wherever, and then have everything in one place where you can quickly create the purchase order and for Pubnet, and wherever comes back from Pubnet and the supplier will be synced to your store. So you have this full system, e-commerce system, where you have all the inventory. This will be your point of truth for both brick and mortar and your online sales. And you wouldn't have to do all the manual entries. So a big time saver. The automation that you just mentioned, like automatically create those purchase orders, that sounds great. And most likely we'll be looking into something like that for the next release.
So I'll get a percentage of that, right? Since it was my idea. Just kidding.
Of course, with whatever feedback you guys have, you're gonna, and we will be able to implement that, then you'll be able to reclaim a lot of your time back.
So with your app, if you are using PubEasy like I am, and then, but of course we are signed into Pubnet, right? It's the same system. So would I be able to use it with kind of Pubnet integration through your app? Is that a thing?
Yeah. So PubEasy is basically the same as Pubnet, but with the UI where you can log in and do things yourself, right, Jill?
Yes, so they're two separate services, so we would have to create you a separate Pubnet account, Vivian, but you would use the Emersoft Books app and order through Pubnet through that instead of your PubEasy account the way that you're doing it now.
Right, there is two accounts. I think I'm on both, but I don't even know how to use the Pubnet. I mean, I've always used the PubEasy because we don't really have like a POS because they're mostly online.
Right. The Pubnet only works through a point of sale.
Right. So since I have to integrate that, then his app would be that, right?
Yes.
Am I right into that? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then sorry, I was late about 20 minutes and I apologize. So does it help like managing your inventory as well? Like, is there integration with some inventory management to correlate what you sell and what you order, right? Like how many sales I did of this. I have a lot of sales. So for me, that would be super useful because right now I'm having to download Excel files. and look, and group them by SKU or whatever to see how many I have.
Yeah,
It'd be super
that's
useful.
the whole idea. So you're gonna use Shopify as your point of truth, like source of truth with all the
Right.
inventory. Shopify POS will reflect your
Yeah,
sales
but
in store.
I'm multi-channel, so I would have to import. I mean, I could, I guess, import files into Shopify, but
What
I'm
channels are you? What channels do you use?
Amazon, etc. Yeah.
Okay, you can connect that through Shopify. So there is an app marketplace that you can connect your Shopify with your Amazon account, with your eBay account, and I believe you can also pull all this analytics from there. So Shopify
That'd
can,
be useful. Yeah. And
yeah.
so
So
then it
Shopify,
pulls the data and then you order from Shopify directly through Pubnet and Ingram.
yeah, you
That's
could do
pretty
that. Yeah,
brilliant. Okay, well,
exactly. Yeah. So I
Yusha
see.
has had her hand up for a while.
Yes, which
Hi.
your turn.
Yeah, that's okay. I don't mind. I just wanted to not forget. I put it in the chat earlier. So sorry if I missed it. In the purchase order application, can we import a list of ISBNs by supplier so that we don't have to manually add each title?
Yeah, we are going to support that. So you will be able either to select books from your inventory from your Shopify store or just drop a list of ISBNs for products that you want to create the purchase order for.
Okay,
So
so
you
like, sorry, go on.
so you select the supplier as I was showing on the presentation. You select the location and you can either browse products from your store or drop the list of ISBNs.
So, I think the dream would be to be able to like run a sales report and see what we're out of stock in or below par in and be like, add to PO, click, add to PO, click, click, and just like add them all to to one PO. But in lieu of that, for now, we could at least run that sales report, export that list of ISBNs, and import that in.
Yeah. So
Yeah, okay.
we will be
That's like
definitely,
bare minimum, I think, of what I would need.
yeah, we will definitely going to explore the option to, integrate it deeper with the Shopify so you can run those reports and send products to the PO. But in the initial release, we will support the import. So you will be able to run those reports, export a list of ISBNs, drop them to the PO and send it through Pubnet.
And then my other question was if once we have the purchase order, we receive the purchase order, is there a way to automate like what came in the purchase order that is for unfulfilled orders so that we can just like automatically print the, need to pack and hold tickets from that purchase order? Or do we have to one by one know which books were ordered for a customer and then go find those orders in the POS and print and fulfill?
So for now, the purchase order will sync with your store. So we will update the inventory and we will update the cost. But for the fulfillment, you will still need to find that book and print the label through POS if this is what you're asking for.
So we used to use Lightspeed, um, and Lightspeed, like you'd receive a PO, and after you receive the PO, it would say these titles on this purchase order have open orders that need to be fulfilled. Would you like to print the tickets for them? And that's like a receipt that has the customer's order information, and we could just hit print, and it would print all of them, and it would like
Okay.
tell you that like these are the books on this PO that have open orders. So that's what
Okay.
I'm asking, is if there's like any, um, plans for integrating something like that eventually.
So yeah, it's a great use case. I think Shopify would be able to handle this a little differently because you will have basically orders that are opened. And when you sync products from the purchase order, So the orders are unfulfilled because there is no inventory, right? They're sold out. You order those books through Pubnet. Order arrives. You sync the inventory from the purchase order to your Shopify store, and now you can fulfill those orders. So I believe there is a way for Shopify to basically select those orders and print from order. So this will be still a Shopify feature. Our app will update the inventory,
Mm-hmm.
and the orders will still be fulfilled. Like the order management will be still in Shopify.
Yeah. As far as I know, we've been using Shopify for 2 years. There's no way, like you can run a report of all of your open orders and you can run a report of all of your open orders that like, have inventory that are 0 or over. So therefore
Okay.
you could then like find that list, but I don't think there's any way to like automatically
Okay, like a bulk.
like run the list of what is here now for
Okay,
me
I see.
to ship out
Yeah.
natively in Shopify. But someone else here that uses Shopify maybe has a better workflow that I'm not familiar with. So
Okay. Yeah, it's a great case. For now, we won't have this on our first release with Pubnet, so there will be still like we will sync the inventory, so we will update the inventory, but there will be no interactions with orders on your store on inside of our
gotcha.
application. So we can definitely look into this for you and see if there's a way inside of Shopify to bulk print this, because that's the question, right? You want to select all the orders and print labels for them.
Yeah, and I guess like the first step though would be identifying which titles on that order are for unfulfilled customer orders.
Okay.
Yeah. Pavel, when you receive the box, you want to be able to separate these 10 books are going to go for customer orders and these 20 books are going to
Understand.
go out on the shelf. And then
Mhm.
ideally you print out the tickets right then and there and wrap them with the books.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks, Joe.
We will look into this. It's a very interesting case. That's why we have those webinars, so we can collect this data.
Cool.
It's a very valuable data from booksellers. So it's going to our list.
Thanks, Pavel.
Thank you very much. Thank you
Yeah,
very much.
Pavel, also people, I think Trisha, someone was asking about pricing, if the Pubnet integration will be included in the existing price or are we gonna add it on? So maybe you can comment on that.
Yeah. So uh, for now there will be, sorry, for now there will be no change in pricing. So we will just include that to our yearly package, the Pubnet integration. And as it grows, as we see, how things are going and how else we can, support the booksellers, brick and mortar location, there will be most likely a dedicated tier where we would include, like, there will be a tier for online booksellers and then additional one for, or like an add-on for brick and mortar location.
Yeah, however, if you're a current client, this price will stay.
Yeah. So we won't be like whoever is already using the application, it will have access to that feature. And later on, as we see like how things are going and what is the response from the community and how else, like if we are really bringing a lot of value, if you guys feel like it really helps with your operations, then most likely we will have like a dedicated plan for this. Yeah.
I want to pop in here. By the way, I'm Tori. I work with Emersoft here. If you ever email, I'm probably one of the people that will respond to you. And I add too many exclamation marks and M dashes, but I'm not AI. I see a question here from Linda, and it's asking about supporting new and used books. Maybe, Jill, can you speak to this? Are we able to support used inventory at the moment with PubEasy and Pubnet?
No, PubEasy and Pubnet only do new book inventory and some sidelines provided through traditional suppliers. So like PRH, Penguin Random House, for example, has the out of print sidelines. Chronicle has a lot of sidelines. They're fulfilled through Hachette. So you can order sidelines and new books, but we don't have any used book suppliers on Pubnet.
Yeah, Pavel, but I think you could also add something that you can have the used books on your Shopify, and as long as they're available in our data set, that can be scanned with the Shopify POS. So maybe you can comment on
Yeah,
that as
that's
well.
correct. So a huge component of our application is actually access to the data. I think we have like the most complete database from Ingram on all of those products. So if the ISBN is in the database and it's available through Ingram, you can pull this book to your store, have it there, and then with the Shopify POS, like you can update the cost. Depends on where you got the book from. You can update the cost, and then with the Shopify POS, you can still scan the book. The book will show up on the system, and it will be there. Because, but the difference is that you don't have to look for this elsewhere for the data. Update that. You can still pull this from Ingram through our application. So the data access is really like a huge component of this whole thing. And with our concierge support, you can just send us a list of ISBNs uh, for products, and we can import them to your store. And I know a lot of them. Thank you for letting us know, John. I know a lot of them are not available through Ingram, not always available through Ingram, and they are a little different. But yeah, it's for the most part you can use Shopify to handle that.
I
There are
have a
cases.
question to see if you can help me troubleshoot. So I've imported a lot through the Emersoft app. If I happen to have a book on hand, I don't have an easy way to tell anything in Emersoft or in Shopify that I'm going to fulfill that order. And so I've turned off the automatic fulfillments, but I have a couple orders that I've sent out from here. But since Emersofts didn't fulfill it, they're kind of stuck in hold or unfulfilled. And I can't even update their tracking or anything.
Yeah, so this is thank you very much, Elena. This is something that we'll be improving in the with our application. So with Pubnet integration, we are actually rolling out a huge update to the app. It will be, first of all, it will be available through Shopify Marketplace. So you will be able to just install it from there, and there will be a lot of updates. We gathered a lot of feedback over the months from booksellers. So yeah, if the order is created automatically through our application, there is no way really to update it manually. And when you import those books, there is no way to, like, if you import them manually, there is no way for you to select the location that you want to assign it.
Right.
So by default, it goes to Ingram. But before you import those books, you can reach out to our concierge support and let us know that you want to add those books to this location, so we can add it right now during our importing process. But with the new
Okay.
application, this will be an option for you. So right now,
Cool.
I would suggest if you have books that you want to add to your location, so you want to fulfill them yourself, just let us know and we will do that for you. So,
Okay. And retroactively, because this only happens once every couple weeks, could I say, hey, order number such and such I fulfilled. Could you go back and do that after the fact, after the sale? So that I can mark it as fulfilled and add tracking and stuff.
so you say that it would by default it would go through Ingram, but then during that you would like to change this, right?
Yeah.
This
That's
might
okay.
be.
I'll email the next time it happens and see. Otherwise, I'll wait for the rollout.
Yeah, maybe it's better to just reach out to our support if there's a case like
Okay.
that. I'm guessing there
Yeah,
won't be a lot
that's
of
fine.
cases like
It's
this.
not happening all the time. When does the rollout plan to happen?
So we are planning to roll out the new application just before the Winter Institute. So it's going to be around 20th, like the end of February.
Okay, great.
The app is already in development. We have great progress there. And that's why we also wanted to organize this webinar, let people know, see to get some feedback, announce updates, and yeah. So this is really
And Elena, you're our customer, so you're gonna get a priority access as well. So we already have some of our clients signing up as kind of beta users.
testers.
I
Okay.
don't want to call it beta testers because at the end of the day, you already use the app, but
Mhm.
and we work very closely with Jill here from Pubnet and their team. So it's just signing you guys up, making sure that you have access, and then we'll be collecting feedback as you're one of the first people
Okay,
using
great.
the integration. So
Yeah, I'm
yeah,
excited. Thank you.
definitely reach out to Jill and sign up already, and I'll be
Okay.
just kicking our team, because they tell me, oh,
Wonderful.
don't say it's coming, don't say it's coming, I say it's coming in 2 weeks,
Okay. Yep.
Thank you very much, Alana. Celia.
Celia, yes. Hi, I have a question for Jill. So I'm not a user of Pubnet or PubEasy or the app yet. This has all been very informative. But Jill, if I did have questions about how Pubnet or PubEasy works, is there, because have I tried to submit to join, but I think because our email addresses don't have an M, is .com. I've never actually gotten the link to actually sign up for Pubnet or PubEasy. Neither here nor there. I've also emailed the help address from the website and never heard back from anyone. If I had questions on how and why I would want to be a part of PubEasy and Pubnet and help get set up, is there someone I can reach out to for that
Yeah,
assistance?
reach out to me directly. I put my email address in the chat. I don't know what's happening, why you didn't get an answer when you emailed before, but please reach out to me. I'm also going to put my work phone number, which I do not have memorized, so bear with me as I type it.
Okay.
You can always call me direct as well. There
Thank
you go,
you.
you guys.
Yeah. Also, I have a question from Brandon here. If there are any plans for enriched metadata. So, Brandon, we are working towards that, and we are basically looking for every single data source that is out there to get the most, to get everything together. But it's proven to be a bit of a challenge in the industry. Like a lot of data is not really organized. There are a lot of data with publishers directly. They submit Onyx feeds here and there, but we are looking into this. So we'll definitely try to enhance the data as much as possible. If
Does
you
the
have any
vend
like, if you have
I
any
have a
like,
I have a
okay,
question. If we've manually already entered so many books in our system, and under vendor is usually my supplier where I want to reorder it from, um, is that where it's pulling the information for the supplier? I guess I want to make sure what I've done manually would match up with what yours would do automatically, or like what cleanup it would require me on my end to, you know what I mean? Like
yeah.
for it all to work
So
together.
yeah, you are doing this correctly. We also use the vendor field. By default, we provide the imprint information there because that's the data that we have access to. But
See, I
if
put the
you,
imprints in my collection and tags for my own purposes, and so I can pull. So with that, it's still right? Like you're still going to the main where I'm actually ordering it, right?
yeah. So
Okay.
by default, we use vendor field, but if you already have the supplier under the vendor field, then this information is also very useful and it can be used for purchase orders for Pubnet.
Okay.
We
Great.
really wanna what we really wanna do here is to allow people to quickly filter out books from their store, so you can put this purchase order together pretty quickly. Like someone was saying that they would like to use the reports. I think it was Fushia. that you run all the sales reports and you want to just quickly export this data and create a purchase order out of it. So we will be working towards this as an end goal. So you can basically just quickly create a purchase order. For now, this will be browsing and filtering by supplier or the vendor or tax, but later on we will definitely extend this feature.
Will there be a way if you're on the product page of a book and it says, you know, I have 0, is there a way on that screen to actually just click for it to go into the purchase order for that supplier? That would be ideal on my end.
Are you talking about the storefront?
My admin, my Shopify admin.
Yeah. So that's the end
like
goal.
on the actual product page, is there a way to just click?
Right now, it won't be a case, but later on we will be introducing something like that. So right
Because
now,
right now I'm already copying and pasting the ISBN and I'm putting it on my own, how I keep a running list for each individual publisher. So that would save me that whole step since it's not like I told you what I wanted with it automatic, like if it drops below a certain number. But in the meantime, that would be a next best step. But you don't have that either.
So right now we don't have that, but you will be able to filter out books from the purchase order view. So I can actually show the example, but again, this is just a native Shopify PO functionality. I'm using it as a reference because that's something that will be the closest to what we're working on. So basically, you'll have that purchase order, and here when you browse products, we will have different filters. So you will be able to just maybe filter by tags and add those products from here. So instead of going to the product page, you will just see them here and
The
add
only
them from
thing
here.
is sometimes Shopify with like, I'll do that with I'll click inventory and then I'll put like, I'm looking for Hachette or whatever, it pulls up sometimes other things that it's just not always really that accurate. So there's a lot of room for error, I find, with that.
With inventory, you mean?
Yeah, with their search feature. It either sometimes doesn't pull up what I need it to, or it pulls up way too much.
Okay. Yeah, we will be definitely looking into this, but we want to allow people to quickly filter what they're looking for. So by default, a lot of like you already use the vendor field, and that's what we also want to leverage. So you will just go here, vendor, and then select wherever you want to filter.
Okay.
And from here, there will be this checkbox where you can just select all of them. So right now,
great.
I don't. So you filter wherever by the supplier, vendor, or wherever. You can also use Flowy. It's a great tool inside of Shopify.
Wait, was the available? Can you go back where it said available on the right? Was that available in my store, or available with Ingram or Pubnet or whatever?
Yeah, with your store. So this is
Oh,
your.
okay, so that's my inventory amount that I'll be able to see. I won't have to click on everything. Okay, that's good.
That's your inventory. So here, or you can use Flowy and set up automated workflow that would, let's say, add a tag to products that has inventory lower than 10. And then later on, inside of the purchase order, you will be able to filter products by the tag that was added automatically by Flowy. So that's one of the ways. We just want to eat, like, the whole idea and our mindset working on this application, working on this product, is to leverage as much as Shopify already has. Because like, we don't want to compete with Shopify. We are not competing with Shopify. It's a huge and great e-commerce platform that already has a lot of the features. So we just want to allow booksellers to leverage that. So yeah, like flowy automated tagging, then you use the tag filter, find the tag, maybe low inventory, wherever you call it, and you will see here all of those books. You just click a checkbox to select all of them and just quickly add them to your purchase order, send it to supplier through Pubnet. And then once we receive that information back from the supplier, so let's say you ordered 80, but 50 came back, that number will be reflected on the purchase order, and you can sync that with your Shopify store. So the inventory will be updated automatically and the cost. So you can run your reports.
I see we have a question from Samantha. I might say her last name wrong, Haroyan. It's if we already use the Ingram Emersoft integration, how will the Pubnet application impact current Ingram data in our shop?
So yeah, there will be working complementary really. Like we are using Ingram data for all the data, all the books information. So like the titles, basic subjects, everything. And Pubnet is the EDI, so the electronic ordering system. So we basically use two services, Ingram for the data or for this consumer direct fulfillment, and that can be managed through locations. So if you go to products, let me show my screen again. If you go to products, I can open any of those books, let's say this one. And as you can see, this product is available through Ingram. So this is our app location for automatic fulfillment. Shop location, this is my shop store in New York, and then my other location in Florida. So depends on the inventory and depends on the shipping rules that you set up in your Shopify store. It will take the priority when someone orders. So basically Ingram for the data, so you don't have to add any of that manually, and you always have complete information about the data. I know, Brandon, you would like to see more, but we are working on getting this data from elsewhere. But essentially, you're not adding this manually. Everything is added to your Shopify store. Then you manage the you manage the inventory with POS, and you replenish your stock through Pubnet. So POS updates the inventory in store. You get the information from Shopify, or you run reports. You see books are running out of stock. You add them to the purchase order for Pubnet, send it to the supplier.
And then that ships to your shop location. So I put this in the chat, but y'all should know that if you have multiple locations in Shopify, your Pubnet orders for each Pubnet account all have to go to the same address. So if you had a store and a warehouse, you would have to have two different Pubnet accounts to specify which, and you would have to order on the correct one for where you want the book shipped to. So this initial beta is probably with single store locations, right, Pavel?
Yeah, for now we're just gonna have one account per store. But later on, yeah, we will see, how many people actually, have the multiple different locations and they want to order from different locations. We can address things like that per case. So if someone has multiple location and still wants to use that, you can reach out to us and we can, customize that for your store. But for, rolling this out to public, it might take a little bit more time.
And I'm going to have to sign off in just a minute, but the last thing I wanted to say is that we haven't quite figured out how we're going to do the registration process for Emersoft users yet. So if you're going to be beta testing with them, reach out to Emersoft or to me directly instead of registering for Pubnet through our website, and we'll figure that part out. And then once we're closer to the launch, we'll have registration guidelines for y'all.
Thank you very much, Jill. Are you guys, are we seeing you on the Winter Institute?
Yeah, we'll all be there. So we hope you guys
Yeah.
are coming too.
Yeah, so we will be there. By then, the Pubnet integration should be already available. So if you guys want to catch up for a coffee, say hello, wherever, let us know. We will be there. And listening to your feedback, learning more about the industry, and seeing what else we can solve here and how we can improve your life, how much time we can save you, and enable you with all this great infrastructure like Shopify, Pubnet, Ingram. I know it wasn't really available for smaller booksellers in the past because like all the thresholds and the technical also implementation, but we want to be here to help you. Do we have any other questions? I know it's been already 1 hour and a
I was
half.
looking at this flow thing that you were suggesting, and I think that's going to solve the problem that I would have due to the type of store that I have, which is not your traditional bookstore. And I just don't want to go into specifics. So is that something we're able to discuss with you personally when you talk about concierge and all that?
Yeah,
Because I
of
mean, you wouldn't
course.
be able to list things for me in the traditional way, so that would not have a use for me. But perhaps there is a way that that can happen. I'm
Yeah, this
thinking of
is
ways that possible, and I'm looking at this flowy thing that you showed. That's amazing. I love it. I just was looking at it.
Yeah, it's a great tool. We are also a Shopify partner, and we work with. We don't only provide the application, we also provide a Shopify consultations and development if you wanna, if you need any help. So if you if you have any questions, please reach out regarding the app, regarding the Shopify setup, regarding any automations. We are here to help, and we are working with the book industry. We want to help you guys. We already know quite a lot, but we learn every day.
And how good are you of about like, like not sharing information from one client to another? I mean, like, about, just, if we have some novel ideas that other people are not doing, you keep that because, if we consult with you, then you're going to find out things about our strategy or whatever that we don't necessarily want out. And
Yeah, we have our privacy and policy terms and conditions on the website, but obviously, like if there is anything that you want to make sure that doesn't go anywhere, although we are like, we work closely with our clients and we don't expose and talk about any secrets, but we can always, sign up an NDA to make sure that
well, I mean, it's not like I'm not being totally paranoid about it, but just what I'm saying? It's like some ideas are just,
yeah, of course, it's
yeah,
understandable. We've been in the
yeah,
business for last 10 years working on different software with different clients. We built a lot of different products, and the trust and reliability is everything that we have.
cool. All right. Well, I'm just personally, anyway, we'll talk. I'll be in touch.
Of course, yeah. Yeah. You can always, guys, check our Trustpilot page. A lot of booksellers already submitted some reviews about how is it to work with us. We always want to help. So if you guys have any questions, need any support here, or would like to get started with the application, please reach out to us and we will get you going. And as Martin said, all the current clients will have access to Pubnet integration at no extra cost. So it will be included in our yearly package. Later on, we'll see how it goes. It's a big job, but we want to be here for you. We want to support booksellers, and we also gonna be on the web on the Winter Institute. So we would love to catch up with you guys, grab a coffee, and talk bookstores. Yeah. So I think we can. Yeah.
I was going to say, can I ask a really quick question, or if anyone knows, when you're talking about use, I love the idea of using the search and adding for used books too. If we got, and that's something that I have not I don't know how to integrate selling used with my new, because all my Shopify is used. Make you spend all that time manually. Well, you would save that, adding the product where you might just have one and then it's gone. So, but this would solve that. But it still doesn't solve like how do you differentiate on the store between used and new? I don't know. Is there the only thing I thought of is like to make a variant under my existing for used. Is there something that I'm missing that other people are doing?
Yeah, the variant is probably the best way to do that. So you can have a book, you can have You can pull this information from Ingram through our application. It will create a product. And if you have a used version of this product, I would add a variant.
Mm-hmm. But
So
what if I
I
already
think
have variants for paperback and hardcover? Then I'm going to have like used paperback, used hardcover. Is
okay.
that what I guess it'll look like?
So you could
That could be
also
something that'd be great if you,
yeah.
I don't know, differentiated better.
It could be also a separate product. You could probably duplicate the product and just and the name
Right.
state that this is a used version.
Yeah.
If you already
Okay.
use variants for like paperbacks and hardcovers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think we can wrap this up. It's been an hour and a half. Thank you very much for your time, guys. Thank you very much for such a great community. I'm looking forward to work with you guys on this integration on Pubnet, on Shopify, and to see everyone on the Winter Institute in Pittsburgh. If you guys have any questions, if you need anything, you can always reach out to us. Our emails are, we will follow up after the webinar with the recording. So if you need any help, we're here to help.
Great to meet you all. Excited to
Thank you very
see your
much,
names in my
guys.
inbox.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
everyone.
Thank you very much for your time, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.